It seems like every single day there's a new trend of people saying that the sky is falling when it comes to cryptocurrency. And honestly, I understand how, if you're new to cryptocurrency in general, how you could basically look at the current state of affairs when analyzing the values of these different technologies. And I understand how it can be pretty much depressing, looking at these different values, seeing how Bitcoin seems to be having a hard time maintaining its value, and it seems to be going backwards in value, let alone even going forward, moving upwards in value is just out of the question. Seeing new all-time highs, it seems like a way off, and I understand that right now we're sort of in a little bit of an intermediary in between the last time we were seeing Bitcoin reaching those $20,000 values per Bitcoin. I know you guys remember those days, back in late 2017, when we were seeing some really historical moments for cryptocurrency, and when everything was just going up and up and up. And I understand how people who have basically only been involved with these technologies for the past, say, 6 months or so, it can be very I mean, it obviously, the number one characteristic of cryptocurrency is the fact that it is a volatile market. However, those of us who've been involved with this more than a year, we see a pretty significant. I mean, if you think about it, from November till today, that's still an upward trend. I mean, it is sort of, it's not very impressive. It's definitely not as impressive as, say, going from here to all the way up here and then beyond. However, you still have to understand that the way that things are currently functioning, I think that cryptocurrency definitely still is moving forward at an accelerated rate. If something like the stock market, for example, went from here to here, that would be all over the news. It would definitely, it would be catching so many people's attention that you wouldn't even know what was going on. And seriously, we could literally go from where we are right now back and soar all the way back up if the right variables come into collaboration. I'm not panicking when it comes to looking at the current market and the way that things are functioning as far as cryptocurrency is concerned, for one number one reason, and that's based on the fact that I've involved myself with cryptocurrency up until the point where it's basically, I've involved myself as far as technology is concerned, and I'm interested in basically these different technologies because blockchain technology is basically going to be the future of basically the way that people understand the transactions of value and so forth. So when we look at the current system that we're existing within, the fact of the matter is that over a long period of time, it's a statistical inevitability to see the fact that things could continue to moving forward the way that they are now. Basically, all these different corrections that we're seeing as far as the totality of the value of the market and so forth, I think that this is basically the time where we're going to start seeing regulations being implemented into this space, and that's both good and bad. Certainly, it's good in the sense of things will be a lot more trustworthy. It's also bad because, well, don't we all love that wild, wild west, that new paradigm feeling of cryptocurrency? Certainly, it's sad to see it go, but it also is a marker of the fact that as the establishment continues to implement these technologies in the real world, thinking about it in a realistic sense, it's definitely something to take into consideration. And that's what we're starting to see really happen right now. Regulators are coming for cryptocurrency, like GeekWire, this interesting article that I was reading over, and there's a ton of different interesting variables that go into seeing all these different things as they continue to expand themselves. And as we're definitely in the beginning stages of cryptocurrency, and I am certainly not panicking when it comes to looking at these things because I've been involved with this so long and I've seen all the different things that have happened in this short amount of time. I've only been involved for a couple of years. There's plenty of people out there who've been involved for way longer than I have. And when it comes down to it, I've seen days like these before where things seem completely hopeless, and then right out of the blue, you know, before you even know it, you see things hitting all-time highs. So right now, we're definitely going through an interesting period when it comes to understanding cryptocurrency and the basically the whole public consciousness regarding the technology still needs time to adjust, and it's all moving at a pace. The international nature of cryptocurrency requires pretty much everybody in all across the world to come to adapt with the reality of these technologies as we continue to see them implemented in our day-to-day lives. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm very optimistic when it comes to these technologies because I've done my research regarding, I've done hours of research, hundreds of hours of research, understanding the fact that the way that these technologies are going to be implemented, it's going to take multiple stages as we continue to see things expand themselves and then move back and then expand themselves a little bit further, and then retracing our steps and moving into this new paradigm so that everybody can be involved. And it's definitely interesting to see this happening in real time. I'm certainly excited, and it's also important to stay optimistic when it comes to looking off. I mean, how Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies could kill off cash. I mean, today's March 17th. This was March 16th. So, in the state of the market that it is currently, NBC News is still talking about how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is still has the potential, and it certainly will eventually kill off cash, because the fact of the matter is that this new paradigm of digital technology implemented in the form of cryptocurrency, it's definitely a huge shift, and it's something unprecedented. So it's still, now would be the time for you to be confident in the choices that you've made in your life. I personally am very happy to see these prices at such low, so down as they currently are, because it gives me an opportunity to accumulate more of these technologies at such a discount. It's really all about the perspective that you have when it comes to understanding cryptocurrency. And those of us who are optimistic, who have strong hands, who are holding on to these technologies for dear life, we're going to be the winners in the long run. And the people who panic, who see these different things and don't know how to run away from the computer, those are going to be the people who, I mean, if you have your emotions tied up in it, it's time to reevaluate the situation. And as I'm concerned about it, the number one piece of advice that I could give is that when you get into a state of mind that has you panicking, it's time to walk away from the computer and basically, and then maybe do some more research regarding these technologies and so forth, and try to turn negative emotions into positive, if at all possible. It's definitely something that's helped me out along the way, and it's a piece of advice that if I hadn't implemented, I'd have gone crazy by now. So definitely something interesting to take into consideration. If you guys are actually interested in connecting with me on social media, you guys can actually follow me at CryptoTuber. I'm actually on Twitter, on YouTube, on a bunch of different social media platforms, and looking to expand into more as time continues to progress itself. It's really awesome to see this great community of people who is basically grown surrounding this different exchange of information. And the whole purpose of these videos that I've been making is the fundamental purpose is so that we can all basically grow as a community together. And I think that it's fundamentally important for us to share information. And yeah, so definitely post down in the comments down below any information that you guys have that involves cryptocurrency and what your opinions are. The whole point of this channel is the exchange of information and basically becoming more educated when it comes to understanding these technologies and moving forward as such. So basically, I'm still very optimistic when it comes to these things. I know there's plenty of people out there who are pessimistic when it comes to these things. However, it really is those of us who have positive perspectives and who stay confident, we're going to be the winners in the long run, because cryptocurrency is certainly going to overtake cash at some point. It's basically like back in the day when everybody thought that people would still be reading newspapers to get their information. The internet takes over. The internet will take over every single variable of human life. I mean, it's pretty scary when you think about it, but you could basically ride the wave if you're interested in. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. And I'm not your dad. I'm not responsible for you. So basically, take everything I say here with a grain of salt. Definitely go out there and do your own research when it comes to cryptocurrency, because it is a wild ride. Say somebody bought Bitcoin right now at $7,000. Well, what happens if Bitcoin goes down to $3,000? That person's going to be feeling fairly upset and will probably be cursing the name of whoever got them, convinced them to be involved with cryptocurrency. So I do not want to be responsible for getting anybody involved with crypto, because it is a huge volatile market. There's a lot of rewards. Certainly we might not be seeing as many rewards now as we were seeing in the past, but it is looking as if the market is fairly more controlled than it was in previous times, sad to say, and especially with things like the Google advertisement ban regarding cryptocurrencies definitely influencing the public consciousness regarding these technologies. However, in the long run, I'm very optimistic when it comes to the potential, and I think that overall these regulations are a necessary evil, so to speak. So definitely interested in seeing where things go and expand upon from where we exist today, seeing as how we're at that $301 billion market cap. I think we could see $1 trillion. I know I'm probably one of the only people out there who's saying that today, but I could see it easily within the year of 2018. So that's my perspective. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Boost the channel up in the Google algorithm. Hope you guys have enjoyed this piece of content, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Stay confident. Have a good one.